Yo, what's happening, guys? Your boy, Uncle P. I told you I'm consistent. Video number 2, and I'm gonna post all those on the same day. Nah, I'm joking, man. This is gonna come later. Yes, guys, I told you I'm gonna be consistent, as I told you guys in the previous video. If you guys haven't watched it, go check it out. The video is titled, "Is Dricus a Racist or an African?" I say what I gotta say. I don't need to say more about it. Now we are talking about who gonna get ass whooped on that fight. Guys, I want to do this whole thing where I've got Dricus here, I got Adesanya here, do all these articles. I know you guys don't give a shit about that. You guys just want to hear what I gotta say. Well, what I gotta say is, guys, it's a very interesting fight. So this fight can go either way, but I'll tell you the two ways that it can go. Guys, listen. A lot of you who heard my prediction on Robert Whittaker and Dricus were very shocked that I said the fight was going to end on the second round via TKO. Although I didn't shoot a video on that, but people who interact with me on the daily and ask me about fights, and I told them, Dricus is going to kick ass, and he will beat Robert Whittaker on the second round because of one reason. The reason was that Robert Whittaker has noticed one thing, which is the same thing that Israel Adesanya has noticed, is that when Dricus gets attacked, he curls. He curls up, boom, and he leaves himself exposed. But the problem is, which is what Robert Whittaker did, is that Robert Whittaker hunted for Dricus's head. Now, one thing I told you guys are wondering whether Dricus is African or not. Dricus is very much African. So that means that man is boer strong. He can poesklap gegeet. He can take poesklaps. That's my attempt at Afrikaans. So Dricus is extremely strong. So he can take shots. Heavy shots. He's strong. The mistake Robert Whittaker did is he didn't go for the body. Because when Dricus curls up, his body is very much exposed. And you need to understand the cat's heavyweight. He used to fight at welterweight. So that means his core doesn't, after, dehydration and everything, he can eat. The same way he hit Robert Whittaker on the body and Robert Whittaker crumbled, that's what Robert Whittaker should have done to Dricus. But he didn't do it. So Robert Whittaker had a game plan, which is he saw the curling of Dricus. He was going to attack him every time he curled and give him heavy shots, which didn't work. Dricus ended up taking that win. Now, when it comes to Adesanya and Dricus, if Adesanya is smart, he will realize this. Then he knows that you need to understand, Adesanya fights on the outside mostly and is a counter striker. Adesanya can't be countering Dricus. He's going to get hurt. Reason why I'm saying this is why Adesanya needs to keep the distance. One. Rule number one for that fight, Adesanya must not think about dropping Dricus unless the opportunity presents itself easily. If he thinks about dropping Dricus by getting close, there's going to be a problem. Because like Dricus said, if he gets his hands on Adesanya, it's going to be a problem. I promise you, Adesanya does not have ground. Even myself, people may say, I promise you, if I took Adesanya down, I would submit Adesanya. Adesanya does not have ground. Listen to me. Dricus is not the best striker. He's not the best grappler. But he is strong enough that if he takes Adesanya down, Adesanya will not be able to get up. And he will murder Adesanya with ground and pound. So, the game here for Adesanya will have to be, he needs to fight on the outside. Use his jab, use his kicks. Because Dricus, unfortunately, when he does go for a takedown, is very amateurish. He doesn't shoot properly. He's very reckless. Those are the opportunities that Adesanya has when he sees that to pivot, either uppercut or land a hook to knock down Dricus. But the problem is, if he does knock Dricus down and he decides to rush Dricus, where to finish him, there's a possibility Dricus recovers. Now they're on the ground. Anything on the ground, be it with Dricus on his back, Adesanya is in trouble. So if he knocks Dricus down, he can't rush him down. He needs to make sure that boy is not moving. Because if he's moving, he can't go down. So that means Dricus, every time he gets knocked down, he has the opportunity to recover and get back up. That's the issue Adesanya is going to be facing. Adesanya cannot get close to Dricus. So let me give you guys a combo. So let's say Adesanya decides to throw a jab, and this is a combo that John Jones uses a lot. Jab, elbow. Pa, pa. Adesanya can't even use that combo on Dricus. If he baits Dricus with a jab and while Dricus comes in, then turns into an elbow, that elbow needs to drop Dricus down. Because if he does not drop Dricus down, and Dricus, moral of the story, Dricus cannot get hold of Adesanya. Because if he holds Adesanya, Adesanya will learn that that white boy is African. That white boy got African blood running down his veins. Now keep in mind, he's got colonial and African vein in his blood. Man, I'm not the one fighting him, man. Listen, all I'm saying, I think the fight's going to be very interesting. I think Dricus' story is very interesting on how quickly he got to the title. Yo, jumping Hamzat and all those people. Listen, guys, there's so much I could say why Dricus should not even be getting to the title, but how he did it is so amazing. And I gotta be honest, I'm so proud of him. I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him. And but there's a reality that a lot of people need to accept. Okay, Dricus becoming UFC champion. Majority of Africa, black Africans don't know Dricus because they don't know MMA. It doesn't really bring an African impact to the same way Adesanya becoming UFC champion, Francis becoming champion, Kumar Usman becoming champion, how it affected their country. It had an impact on the sport. Unfortunately, in South Africa, it won't have an impact. South Africa is a very racial country. It's very divided. As much as we want to find this unity, like myself, we want to be friends with white people. Well, baby mama's white, and so forth. The reality is there's a division. If Dricus was Doucher, it would have brought African pride. It would have brought pride to Congo and South Africa. Black community, they would have felt it. The fact is white, the impact won't be as heavy. But the impact, the pride of those of us that do watch MMA, the MMA lovers, the ones that aren't seeing the race, we're going to be very proud. Will the impact be the same if it was black? No. That's a reality we have to accept. We live in a very shitty world. Everybody wants to see race. Everybody wants to see color. I think had Dricus not made that statement, he would have not gotten the title shot with Adesanya. He would have not. That's the reality. He would have not gotten the title shot with Adesanya. He needed to make that statement in order to get the titles. That statement is what solidified this title shot. That anger Adesanya had. Adesanya went to UFC begging for this fight. But the reality is that Dricus is just as talented to beat Adesanya as Adesanya is talented to beat Dricus. The game plan is the important thing. Adesanya should not depend on Dricus guessing out. If that's the game plan, then they've got a problem. Adesanya needs to come to fight 5 rounds. Keep the distance, fight for 5 rounds and win by points. If he's looking for a knockout, he's looking to make a statement, he's going to regret it. He's going to make the same mistake he made with Pereira on their first fight. He wanted to make a statement. He was too emotional about that fight. That's why. So when he came the second time, what did he do? He knew that Pereira would rush in the moment he blocked. The same thing Dricus does, which is keep their hands up. Pereira knew. So this time Adesanya knew, if I do this, Pereira will rush in. As soon as Pereira rushed in, he caught him. So if Adesanya walks into this fight with no emotions, he comes into this fight focused. He keeps the fight outside. He plays the proper game. Listen, he embarrasses Dricus like an amateur. He shows that Dricus has absolutely no business beating the people he beat. We're speaking English here. He will prove that Dricus has no business being in the top 3. If he comes to you see the problem, what you guys don't understand, Dricus's style can easily be made look very amateurish until you decide to fight the guy. If you decide to fight Dricus, he's either going to knock you out, TKO, ground and pound you, or submit you. Look at every fighter that has beaten Dricus. They didn't fight Dricus. They were keeping away, and Dricus had needed to come in. And Dricus must make the mistake for you to beat Dricus. If Dricus shows up and doesn't make a mistake, you know what, now that post-fight interview gonna be nasty. Oh, that white boy gonna say nigga. I'm telling y'all, Dricus gonna say nigga, and y'all go what y'all gonna do? Take the title? What y'all gonna? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh man, guys, listen. Ah, the world is going the wrong way, man. Talking about race is keeping us from a lot of things. I know we went through a lot as black people. I know we went through a lot, man. But come on now, 2023. But anyways, guys, I'm your boy Uncle P. So should I wait before I stop? Should I make a prediction who's gonna win the fight? So guys, this is what I'm thinking. Like I said, if Adesanya comes with too much excitement and too much what is gonna get TKO, the fight will go as Robert Whittaker's fight did go. I'm assuming Adesanya is quite smart. I'm assuming Adesanya is gonna be very smart about this fight. He's gonna take his time. He's gonna pick him apart. He's not gonna rush in. I think Adesanya remains champion, but Dricus earns his respect. You know, Dricus, they earn the respect. They earn. Guys, listen. I don't care if I'm wrong about this prediction, man. Oh, Dricus gonna whoop that nigga's ass. That nigga gonna get his ass handed to him. He's gonna get smoked. Listen, Dricus gonna spank that. Oh Lord, Emmer. Guys, listen. If that fight gets into the third round, you can unsubscribe. No. Hold the subscribe button. If that fight gets into the fourth round and ends it, you guys can unsubscribe. That fight either ends in the third or the fourth. Dricus is not even seeing the fifth round. Dricus is going to get a hold of Adesanya and is going to submit Adesanya. It's TKO or submission. Dricus is becoming a UFC champion. Wow. But the question is, how long is he going to be champion? Who he faces next? Guys, I've got a prediction for that too. But your boy Uncle P has said it, and I've never been wrong in this podcast. You guys can watch all my videos and all my predictions. So listen to me very carefully as I tell you guys. Dricus du Plessis is about to become UFC middleweight champion of the world. An African white man. That wigger, as y'all guys will say. So whether you're racist or not, accept this reality, because it's gonna happen. And y'all guys can't do nothing about it. See, the beautiful thing about MMA and fighting is you can say whatever you want. You can when you get into that cage, it's mano mano. There's no